Hello and welcome to my channel, Fife and Flow. My good friend Zach has been riding his Status for 8-ish months and has a lot of solid opinions and insights about this bike. So stay tuned. The Specialized Status 160 is a mullet bike that won't break the bank. Yes. With the frame and shock coming in at $1,300, it is one heck of a bargain. However, money is money, and we gotta know if this bike performs well. So I asked Zach what his thoughts were.
Okay, so this is my 2020 Specialized Status. It's basically stock, except for it has Big Betty in the rear, 2.4 super gravity casing. Obviously, having a couple issues. I also run Cushcore in the rear. Up front, we got a 2.6 Magic Mary in the super trail casing. I'm running St. pedals, and then I have a 1-up 210 dropper post, and other than that, bike's pretty much totally stock. So, and then I guess I have a Renthal bar as well, and then comes stock with some DD grips, and I run some Auris instead. So this bike is radically different from any bike I've had before. So I spent a lot of time on the original Kona Process 15329er. When that first came out, I bought that. I had that for a couple of years. That was a little steeper head tube angle, but still kind of rowdy party bike. Then I've also had a Trek Remedy. I've also had a Kona Hanzo, which is a little different hardtail. But basically, I think the majority of the difference comes from just the head tube angle. It's super, super slack. And you feel that big time in steeps. You feel that big time when you're doing like sketchy rock moves. You feel that big time when you are, getting bent out of shape on some gnarly trail, and the bike just sort of takes care of you, and you don't really have to worry about what's going to happen next. I felt like with my Kona, which was a 66-degree head tube angle, my Trek, which was 65.5, you'd get in the really gnarly steep stuff trying to go fast, and it just felt skittery. It wouldn't hold its line very well, but this it feels like a downhill bike. It feels really composed. One other thing that's different, this is also a mullet, so 29 up front, 27.5 in the rear. And, I'm not like a huge wheel size snob or like wheel size believer or anything like that. But it just feels really good. You can plow over stuff, but you can still get the rear end where you want it to go.
Yeah, boy. All right. This bike's real easy to lean over into corners. Once you get that front center balance figured out, it's real nice. Woo! This bike is an absolute pile of fun. I've owned a lot of other trail bikey bikes. It's more of an enduro-y bike, but it still can play, and I really enjoy that. The thing that's weird about this bike is you got a super short rear end, super long front center, so finding the balance, the front wheel is kind of funky. Just love how slack this bike is. Woo!
So stuff I like and don't like about this bike. I love the head tube angle. It's awesome. Suspension comes from the factory pretty dialed. It's just grip damper like basic TPX2, but it just works. It just functions. I don't have a ton of money to spend on bike parts, so I wanted a bike that I could just abuse, ride 4 or 5 times a week, shuttle, ride downhill trails, but also still pedal stuff. Go wherever I want, just ride whatever I want, and then just throw it back downstairs without having to wash it. Obviously, I never really wash it, and it just works, and that's what it does, and I really, really appreciate that about it. So that's kind of my favorite thing. It just likes to have a good time, and then, be ridden hard and put away wet. So it does really well. Stuff I don't love so much about it, it is just a pig. It's probably 38 pounds. You could probably do a couple things to try and get it lower than that, but not much. It's just a heavy frame, beefy. Like the NX drivetrain is kind of junky. It's clunky. It works for me. I'm waiting till it breaks to replace it. The Kodars are strong enough, but you know, you get brake fade over 2,000 feet of vertical. The tires, if you buy the bike new from Specialized, you just gotta ditch the Butcher tires right away. They are no good. So I definitely would recommend going to whatever your tire of choice is. I like Schwalbe's a lot, but that will also transform the bike as well. The other tires are just kind of paper thin. They rip open every time you touch a sharp rock, so not worth having.
Thanks for watching. Drop a comment for Zach if you have any questions about the status. And if you haven't already, make sure to check out my other videos where I do how-tos, destination highlights, and reviews. Now I hope you go and find some flow.
Feeling like a bunch of 75-year-old men trying to get up the stairs to church. Oh.